hello everyone. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Today we are doing another beautiful winter landscape painting together with acrylic paint. Before we start our wonderful painting, I would like to talk about the material that I'm going to use, which is acrylic. And as I show here in the camera, you can see the paint, you can see the brushes, palette knife, canvas, and the palette paper as well. So first, let me talk about the paint that I'm going to use. It's acrylic paint. So as you see, we have different brands here. Some of them is really artistic and better quality, more pigment has, which is this Liquitex. We have actually this Liquitex as well, but this one is the artistic one, so has more pigment. But I don't say that this is good and that's not. It's okay. All these acrylic are very good to use, but during the time, if you get more professional in acrylic, sometimes it's better to go with the heavy pigment than less, because you have to use a lots of less pigment to make the colors. But for that one, give you a little bit more quality. So these are the acrylic paint that I have. We have different brands like Artist Loft, and we have this brand. We have Amsterdam. We have Liquitex, and all of them are really good to use. And then we need the colors for this specific painting, which is white and purpley tone or pinky tone with blue, yellow, or even yellow ochre, and different tone of brown and black. So if you don't have all these colors, don't worry, we will make some of them. I will let you know during the painting time. And first, after the paint, I'm going to talk about the brushes that I would like to use. I feel more happy with filbert brush in my paintings. So prefer to use a lots of filbert than flat brush. This is a flat brush, so if you see, it's really flat. It's lovely, but for some movement, which is snowy part, which is the trees or birds or feathers or even the cloud in the sky, or some details, in my experience, I feel filbert is more give me flexibility to make everything. So sometimes I have using this one, which is flat. Sometimes I try to use the filbert. So I would show you how you can work with the filbert easily sometimes. And then this is a smaller filbert, so I go with different size. It depend on the size of the canvas I'm going to work. And the other things that I would love to have is pointy brush. This is a pointy brush, round and pointy, which is good for the details if you feel happy with it, to make some details with that. So these are the brushes that we need to have. And the other things is palette knife. Palette knife is very lovely tools to mix your paint with it, and even you can use it in your painting as well. But I prefer to mix always my paint with the palette knife. Okay, so the other things is the surface that we are going to work. We can use actually canvas, regular, standard, and gallery canvas, which is a little bit thicker on the edge, or even oval shape, square, rectangular, any kind of shape of the canvas would be great to use. And even the other surface that it's lovely to use is wood. You can use any kind of wood that you have around. Just masonite wood like this. This board is masonite wood, very smooth, soft on top, and a different kind of wood that we have is okay to use them as well. If we work with oil, I recommend always to have gesso on top of it. But for acrylic is okay. You don't have to add the gesso on top. You can right away put on a painting on your surface and work on a wood that you have already. But I have gesso. This is acrylic medium gesso, and I would use it for one coat on top, and then show you how you can cover it with gesso and then work on it after. And then the other things is, yeah, the palette. We can use palette paper, or you can use any kind of surface which is comfortable for you, like palette paper, or like a plate, or any kind of like a plastic plate palette. But I recommend to use something that you don't have to clean it after, because with acrylic it's challenging to clean it after that. It's better to use the surface, and then after you're finished painting, put in a garbage, which is so much easier. So the paper is easy to use, which is just one paper sheet, and then you can put in a garbage, or you can use the plate, plastic plate from dollar store. That's are okay as well. So you can finish your painting, and then after that put in a garbage. So these are about the materials. We need glass of water to clean our brushes, and we need rag or napkin to clean our paint as well. So that's it. We have everything around. I'm not using a pencil for drawing my painting on a surface, but if you feel more comfortable, you can use pencil. I prefer to do even drawing with the paint, because I can come on top of the acrylic paint and fix it any time of my painting. So acrylic dry very fast, so give me chance to fix it always after that. So if you're okay with the materials, let's start putting our paint on a surface of paper palette, and then start painting together. Okay, so I add some paint on top of my palette, which is white, red, purple, yellow, reddish brown, a dark brown, blue, and black. So instead of pink, I add red, because I know that everybody has a red color, but doesn't matter. If you have a pink, for sure you can use the pink. But if I mix red and white together, I can reach a pinky color, which is so nice. And I have yellow with it. So if I use these two together, give me orange. And if I use white in it, it give me very light peachy color that I can use on top of the sky to show the sunset, and even the reflection on top of the snow. And then I have purple, which is the base of my painting is purpley pinky. And I would have two different brown. If you have just one brown would be okay. I'm sure everybody has this dark brown, but the reddish brown, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. You can mix any brown you have with the red, and a little bit white, give you something close to this color. And this is a cobalt blue color, because if we don't have any purple, we can mix red and blue together and reach purple, and mix white with it to make it lighter. And the black is great for the darkness of of the trees and the stands. So these are the paint that I needed for my painting. And before that, I mentioned about starting apply a gesso on top of the surface. Actually, you don't have to. If you don't have a gesso and you would like to work on wood, it's okay. You can just jump on top of the wood and work on it. But I would show you how you can add the gesso on top. It depends on the gesso that you have. Some gessos are transparent, but I think this one is a white gesso, and it's like a spray. It's a liquidy one like that. I can put something like this with the clean brush. Same as paint, I try to cover all the surface of the masonite wood with it. So that's the easier way to spread all this gesso on top of your surface. And then it make your masonite wood completely white. It depends on the brush stroke you add. You see mine is really hard, but I have a roller to make it more clean and spread for it. Make sure to use enough gesso for all the part of your wood. I use a lot, so I can use it for whole this surface. I go just back and forth. I'm not pay attention to my um, actually the brush stroke. It's okay because it's still wet, so I can bring the roller on top and make it more flat. So I put this into the water. And I have this kind of roller. I can use it to make it more flat with more pressure on it. This kind of roller give me a little bit um, just some texture. But if you don't like the texture, there is some other roller. Let me show you. Which is just a plastic one, and it make it more flat. It depends which one you like. Oops, more, sorry. I just add a little pressure. Or even you can use the texture of the brush. Both are fine. I prefer not to use this one. That's the better to have this quality. I love that fine texture, so I go with that one. So you have to wait a little, get dry completely, and be ready for adding the paint on top. Some artists prefer to have 2-3 coat of gesso, but for this one, this small piece is okay. I can just add one coat on top and then start painting on it. You can make it dry with hair dryer, or you can wait. Sometimes it gets completely dry by itself. So we'll see you a little bit soon. Okay, so gesso is completely dry now. I leave it by itself, and after 15 minutes, it's completely dry and ready for adding another paint on top of it. So I would mix first of all. Actually, for this painting that I'm choosing for this photo, actually, I choose is like a long shape of hill and cover with the snow with understands beautiful trees. So I can start from top of the sky to work on the sky, and then move down a little bit, work on a snow, and add the trees on top, and then add more details on our painting as much as we can. So for the sky color, first of all, before a little, I don't add any drawing actually. We can just divide it like that with the sky color. So I would start from the dark color, which is dark purple tone on top, and then pinky tone, and then move to the lighter tone. And I have this purple tone as well. I can move this a little bit, make it bluey, because the top of the sky is more bluey purple. So I can use this purple for the top of the sky, or even a little more paint to mix. And then I would go with the pinky tone. So I clean my palette knife with the water, wipe it with napkin. All right, and I choose red, pure red, and white. White a little bit more than red. So this is a light pink color I can make, and then I would make yellow and white together. I think the base of the painting is white, so I can add more white on it. So choose white, more white, and a tiny touch of yellow to make the yellow a little brighter. So that's it. And then I would separate the sky color. I can do it with this dark color because I know that it's dry fast, so it doesn't make it challenging for me. And I'm choosing the part of the sky here longer than this side a little shorter. So I can go like here, choose this part, move like a curve, big curve, and try to connect it the other side. So even this side, I can separate it with this color. And I forgot to mention the board that I'm going to use is 8 by 10 inches. Any size that you prefer to work on it, it's okay. But I go like the rectangular shape because of the landscape painting that I choose. But you can go even a square shape would be okay too, or oval shape. Any kind of shape of the surface you would like is okay. So start with this top of the surface of the canvas or wood or any other kind of surface you work. Take heavy paint like that. Start from the top of the sky. I prefer not to make it really dark because of that. A little edge I keep like this and move on with the pinky color because the pinky color has more white in it. And even I don't want to be really back and forth like that to make it liney. I would go a little bit like circle motion. And that brush, which is a curvy brush, is very good for this motion that I would go. Like curvy circly motion. And even a little drop of water mixed with my paint to make it runny more, make it easily to move. And even I can come a little bit to the bluey purple to make it brighter as well. You can try with flat brush too. Don't worry about that if you have flat brush. But sometimes if you work on top of the wood, it's different from the canvas because the wood is dry faster. And then I would use a little bit drop of water to mix with my paint and make it smoother. So I go like this kind of motion with the colors. And then even at the same time, I can choose again more white, drop of water, mix with it, make it brighter. For the rest of the painting, heavy brush stroke, bring it lower, and then I try my best not to have hard edge between the purple and the pink. And try to make this circle motion bring a little bit higher and lower. I don't like to make the line on top of the sky. I try to make them fade together because the sky is better to be really smooth. So, and this is a very light color for it and very nice color. And try your best to make heavy paint because we don't want to see the white of the surface under it. We would like to cover with more heavy paint that we already have it. And then I'm going to use more pure paint of white and make sure to let it blend on top of the pinky tone. The water can make it more trans transition, actually fade together with the white color, with the water, I mean. Even I can add a little bit more white. Less pink. I'm not worried about this part because most of it hide under the trees, but even because of hiding, I'm not leave it be just the white. I try to mix with the paint and try to cover it as much as I can. part needs some yellowy part, yellowy tone, I mean. The feeling of yellow, especially the sun is shining here. It's not shine actually because it's sunset, so I would show that it's hide under the trees, but try to cover some part with the yellow, or even I don't need to have a very bright yellow. I would mix it with so many white color that I have around. And even pure white color can come, that imagine for the um, sun. And then you can just spread some shine around. This is too thick, I don't like that. So I can fix it, don't worry about it. Anytime if I feel I'm not happy with, I cover it with more paint. So still wet, clean the brush from the yellow color I have and wipe it with napkin. I can back on top and add a little bit pinky color to cover it, make it fade, and even the purple color too. Oops, sorry. I shouldn't go with that pure purple because I changed the tone with the pink. And clean again. I don't like this. Come on top to fix it. Sometimes when it starts to dry, you need to add a drop of water to help it disappear. Painting is just back and forth, so don't worry to apply more and more layers on top. But sometimes you feel, okay, I'm not happy with the result, so leave it. Leave it get completely dry, and then again you can come on top and add more layers. Sometimes when it's wet, it doesn't give us a good result that we interested for it. So I'm happy so far. Like now, a little brush stroke of the pinky color here. It's so bright, you can see that, you can feel this brightness. You can fade it if you like, or you can leave it heavy paint sit on top. Both technique, different technique are so fine, are so beautiful. So okay. So we are done with our sky color, something like that, pinky purpley, and we are leaving like this to completely dry. Okay, until I wait to completely get the sky color dry, I would make more paint for this snowy part, which is combination of a little bit darker purple and lighter, and even some brownish, which is a little bit warm. So again, I'm coming back on top with, oops, sorry, not the yellow. I don't want a yellow now. So with the purple, even blue, a little red. I know that red and blue give me purple, but I would change the value of the purple with this one. I love this purple, which is nice. I keep this dark color of purple that I make right now. And again, I need more purple to add. Okay, and I can use that purple, but That's more reddish purple. Because of that, I would prefer to add some blue in it to make it bluey purple, like this. Even I can add on top maybe a little pinky tone. It's nice to add in between. So clean the palette knife, back to red color. We need to add more pink, and even we need more white. To mix. I keep some pink here, but take some of it and bring it this side. More white again, add with it, and tiny touch of yellow to make a peachy color. Even I have yellow as well already. This is a peachy color. Because on top of the snow with so many value we have, so we can make all of them. And yeah, we can add all these colors on top of the surface. I can keep this here, clean the brush from the light color. I would start with darker tone first with this one. And here is covered with so many darker purple. And that's not just one value, one tone we need to add. We can come back again and add more layers on it. And at the same time, I make a little warmer tone, which is a reddish tone I bring on top. And keep like this. Wash the brush. I would go with lighter purple, which is this one. To cover it. And I feel because of this part that I would make it warmer, I need more pinky color to add as well. Or some reddish tone to make it brighter. And I leave it get dry, then I would bring some lighter as well later. This part is a snow part, so I can just make it combination of shadow light. This side is a little dark, so for here I'm going to make it lighter later as well. Some light. Little brighter here again. Okay. Clean the brush because when I bring the light color on top of dark, they sometimes mix together and doesn't give me the good result I want. I just try to clean the brush and then try to blend them as well. Okay, so far so good. Now, I would go with darker tone from the other side. Maybe brown is nice to have. I would add some brown, dark brown into the purple. Yeah, that's a good color. I don't want to have just a purple because purple is a little what I can say. It's really not really dull. It's bright. Sometimes we need some dull color as a darkness and spread around. This part is really dark. At the same time, just a little lighter purple. If you feel more comfortable to use at the same time two different brush, please do so. Sometimes it's easier to do two different brush, one for the darkness, one for the lightness. So I can do the same. Other brush for the lightness. For the light part, a little purple, pink, give me lighter tone. And I would go with designing some shadow between the trees. I try with more back and forth on my painting, try to make it more interesting. At the same time, the light color make it really sharp. But if I don't like to have very sharp light color on top, again I can bring the darker brush stroke to make it fade a little bit, or even make some line in between, which has it there, to get rid of the hard edge and make it more smooth and flat. I feel this pink is really light for this side, so I can at the same time add a little um, darker tone with brown or reddish brown. Even yellow make it warmer. You can see, okay, it's a nice warmer tone, so I need that too. And then need to blend. So this side is very dark. I know that this is so dark. But from that side, I don't want to make it really dark. I would start with the lighter tone. So I clean even the light brush and start with this lighter color to bring on top. Start from that side, come up, or even pure white color sometimes. This is a snow, so even if you make it more flat and smooth, it's okay. Later you can add some texture to make your snow more visible. Pure white. The combination of the yellow, even heavy paint and texture. Let it blend. So again, I come there. If you see even the light color or the dark color, I try to make it really colorful because I would make it transfer from the photo. Even the photo is colorful too, but I would show that it's a painting. Even more colors used on top as the real photo, because the photo is okay, it's a nature. But in painting, you need to transfer it with more colors, with more paint to make it more interesting. Even more texture if you like. So this is about the light part. Now again, we can add some darker tone on top too. Let me add the other brush. The other point that I really love the wood surface is very fast they get dry. So sometimes it's easier to work on a wood because it's dry faster. Sometimes no, it's so challenging because it doesn't give you a chance to blend them together. So it's two different sides it has. You need to practice on it and see which one is more interesting for you. If the dryness that it's happened very fast, you can see I use the red and brown now because I would make it a little warmer. But the base, the main base is purple. And anytime you feel you need to add a drop of water, please do so. Because the water can make a little bit smoothness and some transparency, not the hard edge create in between. Okay, so a little bit this side, I would go with more uh, something like this color. You see, I add all of them at the same time. I try to add a little brown, I try to add a little red, yellow, make it some different tone. Here more warm, so I add red, sorry, I add yellow and brown in the purple here and make it more warm to add some more movement here on top because the transparency here, it shows that the light of the shine of the sun is come on top of the snow. And even here, I would go with pinky color in between to make some details, to make separate some line on top of the snow. And make sure it's back and forth. You can make it again if you don't have, you can do it. And if you don't feel happy, just cover it. It's okay. This is a place of snow, the trees. I would go with a little reddish tone in darkness. No, it's too much. Bring it back again. So as I mentioned, even I do back and forth to see if I feel happy with this new result or not. Okay, I'm happy with it so far. So just a little disappear this hard edge between the light and shadow. And then I prefer to start adding some trees on the stands and then we'll see what we can need to add on top. Even I know that we need to add some more light color here for sure because that's the snow. this is more pure yellowy pinky tone. I can bring a little pure white color as a heavy and texture paint on top to make the snow cover it. Because that should be showing it's a snow, even on top of, even in sunset. Even in sunset, that's the snow. If we make it really yellowy pinky, so it doesn't show that it's just the snow on top. Okay, so I can say it's okay. We can leave it get again dry, and we'll see what we can do for the next of the painting. So the base is almost ready. Now we can again work on it more and more and make it more layers on top. Okay, now it's time for adding the trees on top. And I would add the trees on the stands. So it's dark on the stands actually, all of them, and covered with some snow on top. So we can just go right away on with the black. It's fine. But I prefer to mix black and brown together and then make some dark color which is warm as well. So I mix these two together. But if you don't have it, it's fine. You don't have to. And I prefer to start with smaller brush, which is easier. That small brush, but we have it here. Okay, let me change it with that one. And I'm not make it really tall because I don't want to come to sky. I would go shorter trees like to cover it like here. And not all in the same size. It's interesting to have different size for the trees as well. So start with covering some paint with the tip of brush, and even the flat brush or filbert brush doesn't matter which one. The tip is more liney. So you can add the paint on it and straight on top of the surface, start from top, bring it down like that, draw the line. You can just go with different size of the line on top like that, like this, like this. I try to make it longer, short, long and short, and one is really longer, some shorter, like this. At the same time, you can just cover it with some different, like a cone tree is like a triangle shape. So start a little details on top, not much. Touch the surface. When you're coming down, make it wider, like this. You can bring it even lower. You can come on top of the snow part, like that. Some is behind, so you don't have to add lots of details on it. Try to keep the tip of the trees a little bit pointy. And you can even add some empty space in between to see the sky under it. Make it longer, bring it a little lower. Don't worry, we'll add some details later for that. Like that. Just the tip of brush can help you for adding some more details on top. And you can touch it like that, zigzaggy or even like more flatly. Like this. I know when it's close to the side of the um, what we call the light, it's brighter. It's not both side dark. This side is lighter, but I will do that later. I will add some reddish color around later, like this. I would make sure one of them is really lower at the beginning, on top, like here. And I have one trees here, but I try to add more details on the stems, and then later I will go for that one. And we can just add a little space in between, not cover all of them connect together. So I add one line here. With the side of the brush, even you can just adding some branches as well. Make it more, cover it with details like this. Even some of them has a pressure, would be fine. You can just start from the bottom of the trees and then come on top. Any way which is comfortable for you, give you the result that you're looking for it. Some space because I don't want to cover all the sky color, which is nice. I would keep that. Like this, pointy. For this side, when I'm reaching closer, I can just go with the reddish brown because, or even later on, it's okay, sorry. On one side, I would make it warmer because of the sun reflection. Let me keep this, not to work on it now. I'm coming there, adding some trees here. You can show the leaves come down, cover the ground like this, or you can show these are higher. Both are good. You cannot, you don't have to always add a lots of heavy paint. You can just go with really less paint and make it more fade on distance. I just close to the sun. When I'm coming, I don't want to go with the black because it's very dark. I would show that this is very brighter color. So I take this reddish brown. Because of that, I mentioned we need some reddish color, and then I would go a little darker brown to mix with, which is this color. And then with that color, I'm going to start adding the trees. It's more warm color. It's okay if you bring some darker tone in between, but not from the beginning. Or randomly add some details. These are really connect together, so it's okay if you just mention about the tip, and then cover randomly with so many branches that cover it. But make sure to keep the top of the trees very pointy. And then if you like to add some darkness in between, it's it's okay to add sometimes in between to bring it some dark color. And I would show here the light of the sun. Just give me a little moment to adding more details on it. Even in between, I try to show some behind a little bit more trees. I don't want to show a one by one close together. A little pressure, even hide some trees under them. That's just nice. It's more like a realist painting that we see even in a photo. Like that. We can back and forth between the reddish brown and a darker brown. Turn your brush like I turn it like this way, that way, just like that. So here the center is more red. Red and reddish color give me warmer tone. I can add a little bit feeling of red here. I would wait a little get dry and then add exactly the shine and spread everywhere. And you see randomly I bring some trees in between the others. But the point that I would mention it is just try to make some of them long and some of them short. That more this detail is it makes your nature more look like the real nature, because in the real landscape they're not all the trees in the same size, the nature is not all look like the same, it's different. So we have like that, and then we are going to add some rock here. For the rock I'm going to add a little bit blue into the brown and the white in it. And more blue, brown. And it's front of me here I would make the rock so heavily, even maybe more dark, and with texture. Oops, I add the purple. I mean, I would make it darker. Try to make it look like a rock and hard edge create in between. Even if you like the lighter tone to bring, it's fine, but make it a little disappear and fade. So that's the rock I make, and now some branches and some details of like a grass, not a grass, I mean like some details of the branch here, even dry branch with leaves or without that. Or even drop of water, make it more easy to make the line. Or some details under it. Randomly, I would make some details and some teeny tiny rock everywhere, just to spread some things like that. Okay, you're fine with it. I would add some more snow to cover it later, but so far we are fine. The other things I would mention is the larger trees, which is a little bit here in the size, and a little different from the others. So first of all, I try to start from the top of the sky, bring it lower, like here. And then I would go with some details of the branch on top. I don't cover a lot, but the shape of the leaves is a little bit, or the branch is a little change. It's come higher. And when it shows is the time when I add the snow on top of it, not now, because everything is here is dark, doesn't show that a lot. Or even I can go with the black to make it, but I'm sure the snow come on top, it shows completely separation of that shape of the leaves on top of the uh, palm tree, like this. So far I'm doing it with the black. You can do the same, but make it really thick and heavy, please. And even very bigger than the details that we add already for the other trees on the stands, because this is more close. So I think that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we are done with everything in the painting. Now it's time to add as much as details we would like to have. I would show the sun is here, but I would make a little bit both sides come higher, because I would show the sun is under this in between. So I make some of them a little longer and add more details, or even make it busy with some more trees on top. Both are fine. Doesn't need to specifically show the top and the bottom. You can just add some more um, details as a top of the trees, and then just add some more branch, and that's it. Doesn't show exactly the top and the bottom, just pressure all into each other like a jungle. And try to use more reddish color of brown and less dark color. You can use dark color on the bottom part, of course. Okay, this is about that. Now I would make some more details of snow and the shadow of that. So I would go with the purple, red, blue, brown. Even dry brush stroke give you a nice texture of the snow. Like dry brush like that. We don't add any water, so we can make some texture on it. Even under these trees, I can just make some line of this movement of the snow, and even shadow under the trees. Here is a line of the shadow. Some part warmer, you can add a little bit here too. Make sure not to use blue just directly on top, because the blue is very strong. I would make it mix with some purple and red. Under this stone, we need some shadows. Under these trees as well. So this is good for the shadow. Let me just bring some light as a snow on top. That's the white. A little mix with warmer tone of red and red pink. You can use heavy paint even as a white color on top. Heavy texture be visible. Of course, the heavy texture take more time to dry. It's okay. Red and yellow. I mean pink and yellow with dry brush stroke. If you want to make it warm and dark, you need to add yellow, red, and brown. Oh, this is too red, but it's fine. Even it's lovely to use some warm color here. Oh, I don't like it, sorry. As I mentioned, it's back and forth. You don't have to go like me. Bring it a little darker tone on top, more reddish, and then cover it a little bit more. Because depend on the color that you add, even the red color or the reddish brown is two different tone. If you bring red, sometimes it shows the warmness, but it's very bright and you don't like it. You can just cover it with more brown. Even for here, I'm not happy with. I just try to cover it with more purpley again. More look like the real nature I have already. But you know why? Sometimes it's interesting to have a balance in our painting. So if I add some warmer red here, it's nice to have a filling there too. So not much, one or two touch is fine to hide it on top of the snow. Yeah, it's nice to keep it like that. Okay, I feel happy with it. I cannot, uh, I don't want to cover it very dark like that. I keep it be nice and heavy like this. With a pressure of warm color here. I think it's fine to keep it like this and then add the snow on top. If you like, so follow me to add some snow on top. Okay, so for the light color that we would like to show the snow is on top of the trees is not just the white color because it's the landscape is look like the sunset and it's in evening. So I use darker tone for the snow even. I mix purple with brown and then white. It gives me like a purpley grayish color, which is lighter color. So something like that. And I use this, even I can add a little warm at the same time when it's close to the sun. Like a grayish color. So first of all, I would separate this leaves of the larger size of trees first to make them separate from the rest of the painting, rest of the landscape. In some part, feel free to add some bright white color too. as the snow. I keep the dark color in between. Make sure not to cover all of them. But sometimes happen we cover it. We can bring them back. Don't worry. And a little reddish color in it to add some lighter on top of this. Randomly, you can add some lighter tone on that side. A little warm and light. For this, I can add some more light and dark the other way. So I feel I need to add a little bit darker in the trees. I added lots of dark. There's lots of snow, I think I feel here. Yeah, that's better. Okay. And yeah, the other things is the sun. Let me bring the white yellow here as the sun. Bring it in between. Make around a little yellow. Oh, this one has a gray in it, so I can choose another one. Make sure to use the clean brush. Yellow in it, in between. And dry brush, not heavy pink, heavy paint. Just dry brush. Let it gently spread with very less paint. That help you use dry brush like that. Of course, I'm not with the dry brush there. So again, with the pink, I have to cover it. Because I didn't use dry brush for that part. Again, I have to cover it with pink. But the rest is dry brush. Okay. Just, sorry, a little lighter here beneath. I just think about adding some more details. Sometimes it's better to keep it simple, not to add a lots of details, but sometimes I think more detailish than make it simple. I would add some warm red, warm yellow in some case here because I see some warmer color in nature, even lighter pink here. Even with the texture you can add. And yeah, that's it. Just the things that if you like to show some snow on top with round and pointy brush, a little bit white color, make it watery, and add some details like that. That's the clean, not the clean way because it can spread everywhere, the white color. If you don't like it, you don't have to add it. You can just with the tip of pointy brush add some circle or dot on top and make some snowflake. That's the other way. But when you just cover everywhere and add splash of the snow on top, it's more look like a nature, real snow in nature. But yeah, that's the painting we done for today, for tonight, and it's another beautiful. You can make a little lighter here, just add the details more, so you can enjoy to add this beautiful painting um, in your comfortable time of your um, day or night. And And yeah, anytime if you have any question, feel free to contact me. And hope you enjoy this beautiful nature. That would be help us transfer the photos to the painting and enjoy the process of it. So yeah, thanks for joining me and hope you enjoy it.